Hi guys, well I'm trying to tackle a couple of the international versions of Survivor so I can get those out of the way and all that. So the first one I'm going to mention in the video is Survivor South Africa Season 3. I'm not discussing the other seasons because there isn't a way to view the complete season anywhere. There were people that uploaded most of the episodes, but you can't view the complete season, so why bother? So, I have to admit, critique-wise, this is a good season, but at the same time, critique-wise, there isn't much to it, if you ask me, because, like, the tension level never really got high, minus that, pardon me, merge, tie-breaking, the skull tiebreaker. The tribal dynamics were interesting, didn't produce the best kind of villain and all of that, even though there were a couple of people that I didn't like. The winner, I'm not a fan of the winner, more on that later. The tone kind of made me feel depressed as the season went on, and yes, I'll admit, the trial that I wanted to see win didn't come out on top. That's one slush I have, but I'll touch upon that in a bit. Okay, so starting off the season, I gotta admit, that red tribe just, oh man, those guys could not catch any luck, it seemed. Yes, they won 2 out of the first 5 challenges, but they had 2 people walk out on them, so they actually went from 9 to 5 before they could basically even blink. And then the other tribe only lost 1 member, they lost 4, so... Phew. That was crazy. Sure, they managed to make a pretty impressive comeback, but half of the victories were due to Ockert, because had he not been there, the Timbila tribe would have won at least one of those challenges. Come on. And then, one other thing. What's the deal with having Exile Island if you were only going to use it basically twice and arguably a third time? Because I understand that you're pulling that over from the American version, but in the American version they use it all the flippin' time. Here you use it twice. So what's the point? Now, I have no problem with the hidden immunity idols, but you know, this is probably just one reason that I didn't like Exile Island, even in the American version. It just didn't really seem to... I'm complaining of a useless tree. And then, how do I feel about the Timbila tribe, even though that's the tribe I was supporting? Well, I felt like that tribe had more potential, you know, to carry on the game and all that, because I felt like that they, although they would have trouble with personal relations, had better strategic minds. And before I get somebody in the comments of this video or another video, no, it's not because I like blue over red. I assure you this is just purely coincidence. And I'm pretty sure that there is a case where I feel the opposite way, but I can't remember it, okay? So then we get to the final 10 tiebreaker, and I gotta admit that was a pretty ingenious tiebreaker since that they were tied in previous votes, but it really doesn't have anything to do with surviving, because the American version used previous votes. That means your past actions come back to haunt you. There's the trivia challenge when the previous votes didn't work, but that related to surviving. Then there's the fire making challenge, an essential part of surviving, but just holding your hand above a skull and then putting your fingers on it, that's due to chance. It's almost as bad as the purple rock thing, except this, you know, it's not biased and not, it doesn't carry any potential to screw up the show by any means, provided, of course, you are good of operating the stopwatch in each hand. And then I have another tiebreaker problem. What's the deal with going to previous votes when there is an odd number of people? Just, that was so stupid. Have them re-vote so you can make Isaac vote for either Ockert or Loho For crying out loud, just doing that when there's an odd number of people, you should never do that because previous votes are when a tribe is completely deadlocked and nobody is going to switch their vote. When there's odd number of people, you can switch your vote all the time, just... I gotta admit, that pissed me off. Now, I didn't so much mind the fact that Arco de Lo left because I gotta be honest, I never was a huge fan of either one of them, but... I just do not like that. I have no problem with it being even-numbered because, well, that was what happened in the American version. And first season of the UK, and Celebrity Survivor Australia. The only other thing I think I can really discuss about the show now are my opinions of the top 2, and then the jury situation. Well, having 8 members on a jury and then a viewer vote, I don't particularly mind that, but I don't know. I've always been somewhat against having viewers have a vote, but if it's just one vote, there's really nothing wrong with that, let me tell you, but I think I should just say that anyway. And then finally the top 2. I gotta be honest, I was hoping that Ashley would win because, one, she was on the Timbila tribe, whom I thought were better strategizers and all of that, and then the amount of control that she was able to have, and then winning 5 immunities. I'm pretty sure that's the most that a woman has won in any single Survivor season, even though I think there have been a couple of guys that have won 5 immunities in the season, and I'm pretty sure they were all back to back to back to back to back to back. But on top of that, I also thought that Gigi, we never really got any real camera time with her because, okay, if I had to rank out of the top 10 people, which 2 got the least amount of camera time, it would be Gigi and, hold on, I can't pronounce her name. Sadie. Yes, she got more towards the end, but unfortunately, we just didn't get enough with her, I feel. That's a bummer. It's like, Sophie from Survivor South Pacific. We didn't really get that much camera time with her until she started winning stuff, but even then it really wasn't the greatest edit, and then she ended up winning. Now, I don't mind Sophie winning nearly as much as I mind this case, but still, it's just a problem of getting not that great of an edit. And this time it isn't even like a dark horse winning. It's somebody that came out of nowhere and then ends up winning because the jury doesn't end up liking the winner. Now, that can happen and has almost happened in the American version, but it just felt better there. Here, unfortunately, wasn't as good. Ooh, 8 minutes. I was hoping to make this a little shorter. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was somewhat negative about the season, but remember, I don't have that much complaints with it critique-wise, as it's an interesting season. It's just not one that I particularly like. But if you like it, hey, enjoy it, let me tell you.